I have now voted in 2 separate countries in 2 separate elections. To be more precise, I now vote. To be more precise, I now voted in 2 separate presidential elections in 2 separate countries. I have voted in Poland and I have voted in the United States of America. As you can see by my sticker right here, I have voted. Just right off the bat, I'm going to state this right now. This is not a political video. If you came here expecting me to tell you who I voted for or who I want to win the election or what I think of each candidate, that's not happening. I will not be stating any opinions on the current election in this video at all. So it's universal, anyone can watch. Yay! In this video I'm going to focus more on the actual election process, and I want to slightly compare Poland versus the US and how the election takes place and what's better and what's worse in each of the countries. So where do I prefer the election? I think I have to say I prefer the Polish version of the election because it's just a lot easier. Honestly, comparing to the United States, the Polish election is just a lot easier and more fun to do. Mostly, let's just start with the ballot, the actual voting ballot, the thing you vote with. First of all, in the US, there's like a fucking million of them. Everybody does it different. Like, I know the United States and each state has their own laws, blah 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 blah, but guys, you probably should settle on one voting ballot, one voting standard. Because it's kind of fucked. In a way, it's like 50 different countries voting, which is not okay at all. Because in a way, that's also people get confused and you might be counting votes differently. Like, it's just, that should not be happening. You should have one standardized voting ballot or one standardized way to vote, because in the US you have multiple ways to vote as well. So first, I'm not a political expert. I don't know much about political, aspects and what everything works and how exactly each election process works. So these are just my observations and opinions. I might be like 100% wrong, which is cool, because then you guys can tell me in the comment section below and I can feel bad about myself. But yeah, there's like so many different ways to vote in the United States. It's kind of a bit insane if you think about it. Just from the ones I personally know, you vote by mail. So the whole state, I think Colorado does it, where you have to vote by mail. There's voting on computers, so you actually go to the voting place and there's a computer and you press buttons on the computer. And then there's the one I did here in New York, which is you take this ballot and you fill it out and then you stick it into a computer. Then I know that there's just ballots where it's just on paper. It's probably more. Those are the ones I know, because this year when my friends voted, like I asked my friends, how did you vote? How does voting work in your state? So they told me all about that, and that's what I could have gotten. It's probably more, let's be honest. There's probably way more ways to vote. But since I haven't really done any of the other ways and I can't talk about that, I'm going to talk about how New York does it. So in New York, you get a fucking big ass ballot. It was literally like this big. Like, I'm not kidding. It was like half the size of me. That thing was bloody huge. It was so big. Just so big. That's what she said. Honestly, it's just unnecessarily big. I don't understand why, but it is. So I got to the polling place and there was quite the line. There's probably people standing in that line for at least an hour, hour and a half. When I was getting sort of halfway through the line, some lady came out with a clipboard and started asking people for their addresses. And a few people in front of me just got to skip ahead. They just went ahead and they went straight into the polling place. Polling. Yeah, and so then she approached me. I gave her my address and she's like, oh, you can just walk in, just skip all the lines, just go straight in. There will be a table, you can just go straight to that table and you vote. I'm like, okay. Felt like an asshole, but I just walked in, but everyone was giving me death stares because I walked past a giant hour-long line. And so I walked in and I walked up to the table and they were like, what's your name? I was just like, I already had my ID out in my hand because I was used to that, and they were like, what's your name? I'm like, Maciek. They found me in the little book and they just made me sign the paper. It's like, okay, alright. That's it. They didn't check my ID. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not, but I gave them my ID anyway because they couldn't really find my name because my name's kind of fucked up in English. So I gave them my ID. It's like, look, this is how you spell it. And they were like, oh, all right. They found it. Didn't check my ID. I just signed the paper. Tiny bit strange, you know. And apparently that is how you do it. I've asked around and people are like, yeah, they just come in. You tell them your name, which is strange. In Poland, for example, when you go in to vote, you go to the place. There's a table of people there, just like this. There's books and records of where you live. So you go, you first give them your ID, you tell them your address, and you tell them your name. They find your name, they write, you sign it, and they write your ID number next to it. Kind of safer, I think. So then they were like, here you go, here's this giant ass piece of fucking paper. And you can take that and go over there and find one of those booths and vote. I was like, sure. I went there, I got into my little booth, and by booth I mean a table with like these things, like the Donald Trump ones. Those are the exact. I was voting the exact same one, where you were standing there, you could see everyone else's voting ballots. Another thing which I think is kind of fucking strange, but I'll go with it. And that's when things got interesting. So the first question on the ballot was, you know, you're supposed to circle, like fill in the circle of the person that you're voting for, the United States president. And so I look at it and there is Hillary Clinton / whatever the fuck's her vice president, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton again, Donald Trump again, Jill Stein, Gary Johnson or some shit. And then I was like, you know, you can fill in the blank and you can write it yourself in. But I stood there looking at him like, why is there 2 Trumps and 2 Clintons? That's 4 votes for the same person. Turns out there's multiple parties somehow or something, and Donald Trump's being represented by 2 parties and Clinton's being represented by 2 parties. I don't understand exactly why that's happening. I find that really strange. Why don't you just name the person once? Clinton, Trump, Johnson, Stein, whatever else other people are there. That's it. Stop right there. Just don't do more. Why? Why are you doing more? Why are they doubled? Why are Jill Stein not doubled and the Gary Johnson not doubled? Why is it only Trump and Hillary that are doubled? And so then I go on and there's more questions on the ballot. They were asking about judges, they were asking about districts, just all sorts of other names and people there. To be honest, I was totally not prepared for that, like at all. I did not expect there to be like 20 different questions I needed to fill out. I thought this is the presidential election and you're voting for the president, not for some judges and jurors and random district people and people going to the... That was unexpected of me. On the other hand, I probably should have done the research beforehand and found out the ballot and what it looks like, but I didn't, so yeah, fuck me on that one. And I just circled random people because I didn't know. And I circled random people for the people I had the choice to circle. For example, there was the question about, I think it was about the judges or the jurors, and it was like, select 8. And I was like, fuck, okay, I'll select 8. There were only 8 choices. And they were all Democrat. Like it says a little thing, it was all Democrat. It was 8 people, all Democrat, and you're supposed to choose 8. Okay? Why? So I circled all 8, of course, because there's no other choice. So why is that choice even there? If there's literally only 8 people running, shouldn't they automatically get it? Just doesn't comprehend for me. And that wasn't just the one question. There was multiple questions where there was only one choice of the person you can choose, which is redundant, it seemed like. So that's a ballot in the US. Now in Poland, it was a lot different. Like, a lot different. So I said you walk in, you get your ballot, but in Poland, the ballot's not fucking half the size of me. The ballot's just a little paper that's about this big. You get the paper, on the paper it says the name of the candidate, name of another candidate, like, you know, there's like, in Poland there's multiple people actually running for the presidential spot and multiple people that can actually get the presidential spot. So there's quite a few names on there, and of course there's the write your own name in if you want to submit voting for Maciek, vote Maciek for president. And so what you do is you fill in this circle of the person you're voting for, you take your little ballot, fold it in half, and you're done. There isn't like 60 million more questions for you to fill out. Because I did find out that, for example, in other states, like my friends from Maine, and apparently in Maine, they had multiple questions that had nothing to do with presidential candidates. It was, for example, do you want weed legalized? Do you want this thing to be changed? Like the voting system, do you want the voting system to be different? Why is that a thing? When it says general election, like general presidential election, it should just be about the goddamn president. You don't need to have a million other things on the ballot. You don't need to be voting for a million things. Have those votings on a different day. It's a bit messed up in my opinion. So in Poland, after you fold your little ballot, you put it in this giant ass box. You just go there and you go, bloop, and you're done. And you walk out and then you expect the results in the evening. Well, here in the US, it was a lot different. You would walk in, right? You fill out your ballot, your fucking half human sized ballot. Then you walk up to this computer and it's like, please insert your ballot. And you shove your ballot in there and it scans this and it's like, hey, you voted, your vote counts. America. I'm like, you know what? Cool, that works. I have no problem with that process, I guess. It's kind of cool. Although for me it seems slightly redundant that you have to fill out your ballot and then stick it into a computer. That's kind of like doing the same thing twice, you feel me? Just stick to one thing for me. It's like either stick to the ballot or stick to the computer. Because mixing both together, I don't think that's a very good option. And now we get to the big difference, like the big main difference of how you actually get elected. So let me tell you how it works in Poland first. In Poland, I think we do it pretty sensibly. You cast your vote and then that vote gets counted. It gets counted with all the other votes that were casted and the numbers reported and the numbers given to the general, like, you know, counting person, and they count up all the votes from the whole country, and whichever president got 51% or more of the votes of the whole country wins. But there's also the chance that the person who got, you know, the most votes didn't get over 51%, which means it goes to the second round of voting, in which you have two people who got the highest amount of votes in the first round, and they go up against each other and then go up until you get 51% on one person. So, you know, majority rules. You get 51%, you are the president. Congratulations. One vote counts for one vote. This is very important. Your vote counts as one vote for that president, and that the total number of votes then gets divided by, you know, the number of people voting, blah blah blah. You get the percentage of the people who voted onto the person that is voting. Now let's talk about the US. In the US, I still don't fucking know how the election actually works fully. Like, I get it that you get your votes into a place, but then the place counts your votes as a number of like each state counts, for example, as 10 votes or like 50 votes or whatever the fuck votes, and those votes then get put, and you need like 270 points, and those points are taken from it's why it doesn't make any sense. Why are you like saying that, oh, Texas is worth more than I don't know, what are the states? Dakota, let's say. Oh, there's two Dakotas. Fuck, the one of the Dakotas. Whatever, you get the point. Like, why are you organizing states by value? That's kind of fucked up. If someone votes, just let them vote for that candidate and just have a 1-to-1. You know, it's not that difficult, guys. Just do it. Just do it. Because I feel, for example, I think that's what happened in the 2000 election in the US, where George W. Bush got the points right, but the other guy, I think, who was running as, I don't know, the other guy got, you know, more votes, like actual votes, more people voted for him, but Bush won because he had more points from the states. It's like this whole thing of American sports as well. It's like, if you score a point, why is it like more than 1 point? Just let it be 1 point. Why is it like 6 points or 3 points or something? Like in football, you score 1 goal, that's 1 fucking goal. So this should be 1 vote, 1 fucking vote. Not 1 vote gets 10 points. Why? It seems really messed up for me, and I don't think that is the right way to do it, because it causes situations like the 2000 election where the candidate had the most votes didn't win. Anyway, this video is way fucking longer than it should be, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something about different voting systems. I hope you enjoyed the video and found something entertaining in it. Anyways, I will be seeing you guys next time, so make sure to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch. On Twitter I talk about random bullshit. On Twitch I stream random bullshit games, so you can go and do that, and it's really fun. I really recommend my Twitter and my Twitch. They're really cool places. Go there. Go. So make sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe to this channel, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Peace!